Hey everybody, Angelo here. One of the questions I get asked all the time is, what are the 3 most important skills that as a gay man that I can master to make my life healthier, better, more successful, so that you can accomplish the goals that you have set for yourself, so that you can actually bring balance and harmony to your day-to-day life, even though you're a single man. So I'm going to share with you the 3 most important skills that you absolutely have to master. When you master these skills, your life will be easier, significantly easier, because you're going to eliminate the lower grade negativity, the low grade disappointments and anxiousness and anxieties and difficulties that actually stand in the way of more of the higher level activities that actually produce happiness for you. The first skill, the hands down most important skill that you absolutely have to master, I don't care how you do it, but you have to master this, is emotional processing. Let's say you've been talking to somebody for 3 weeks and you go out and meet with them and you feel negative, you feel disappointed. How do you calm yourself down? When you go out to a club and you start talking to somebody, but then they refuse to give you their phone number, and then you feel completely betrayed that you spent an hour or 2 with someone, they're not willing to share with you their information. How do you deal with that? Or let's say that you've been going out with somebody for 3 months and all of a sudden they stop sending their messages to you, they stop communicating with you. How do you handle that? Or let's say that you just lost your job. How do you handle that? How do you calm yourself down? Or perhaps you just injured yourself and you can't exercise and you're putting on weight. How do you handle that? How do you calm yourself down? How do you bring back your sense of control? Emotional mastery is about recognizing that there's an event, that there is also your response, and processing that response from different angles. I found that for me, the fastest way to bring that balance, to bring that harmony, was through first pulling out a piece of paper and writing out exactly what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling this, and perhaps relating that to my past. That something happened in the past that was similar, and that today's event takes me back there, and the negativity is exaggerated. The negativity is increased because of the pattern that's there in my life. Journaling will allow you also to externalize that wave of emotion that is seeking an outlet. So emotions are like ocean waves. When you have an emotion that's very powerful, kind of like a big wave, that wave wants to get back to shore, wants to get channeled and expressed and reach the shore, and as it reaches the shore, gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Emotional mastery is about recognizing these huge waves you have in your mind or in your biological system, and you express that wave in multiple ways. So journaling is the number 1 step I recommend. Then sharing with another friend, describing that event and the feelings associated with that event to another person. That's monumentally beneficial. This is the foundation for talk therapy. When you talk things through about an event, about your emotion, you feel better. It's universal. Our language, when it describes how we feel inside, produces a release. And then the third thing I recommend is to go out for a walk, to try to stabilize your heartbeat. I've done some research into how our heart actually affects our brain. And what I found is that when your rhythm is irregular, then your mind will also be anxious and irregular. And meditation and exercise are 2 skills that will help you increase your emotional mastery. So 3 things. Number 1, journaling, describing your emotion on a piece of paper. Number 2, talking to a friend, counselor, a coach, but opening up emotionally and with language to another human being. And the third skill is to quieting down your heartbeat so that then in turn your mind also quiets down. You can do that through meditation, through some breathing techniques, and also obviously in exercise, going for a walk. Not super intense, long term or longer duration, but rhythmic, so that your breath gets stable. there is this exercise you can practice. You can inhale on the count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, exhale, 1, 2, 3. And when you do it for, say, a couple minutes, it stabilizes your heartbeat. Also, it stabilizes the wave patterns of your mind, and you feel more in control. Obviously, these techniques are not going to eradicate some trauma. They're not going to influence you instantly and erase something really seriously negative in your life. But these 3 skills, when you master them or when you practice them, they will definitely remove the higher level anxiety, the negativity that's there. All right, so practicing your emotional intelligence is really crucial. The second most important skill as a gay man that you absolutely have to master, and sometimes I question whether this is not the first one, but emotional mastery is the first one. I mean, the emotional mastery underlies everything we do in our lives. So this one comes as second, and that's sexual intelligence. In other words, when you have sexual activity, you want to ask yourself, what emotion does that produce? You have sex, and then there's the emotion. After sexual activity, I invite everybody to debrief themselves. Debrief yourself. What are you feeling inside after that sexual activity? This could be sexual activity with somebody you love, sexual activity with a hookup, a total stranger. So what I'm inviting you to do is to check in with yourself and ask your heart, how do I feel after that sexual activity? And then the third part of it, so that was the second part, the third part is, what is happening in my life as a result of this person and that sexual activity happening? So the connection I'd like to ask you to do is the connection between sexual activity, the way you feel, and also the results that are happening as a result of that sexual activity with that person. And the reason I emphasize this link is to show people that sex is not independent. Sex is with a human being, and when that human being is of certain quality, that human being will affect our life either positively or negatively. So by the virtue of having sexual activity in your life, you are inadvertently inviting people to your life. And you got to check whether those people are good for you. So sexual activity, it may give you amazing pleasure. But if the feeling after it, if you don't feel good about yourself afterwards, you got to check in with that. And then if the results that you're producing in your life are not better, or if you're not more successful in your life, more empowered, emotionally stronger, if you're not more ambitious, and if you're not more optimistic as a result of that person in your life with whom you have sex, then we know the link has been broken. I actually call this the most important equation in sexual activity. Sexual activity, emotional well-being, and then the result in your life. Connect the 3 together and try to synchronize them. The more you synchronize them, ultimately you will be in a situation where the person that is in your life produces good emotion and also produces good sexual habits that bring you pleasure. And that's when you can actually start focusing on other areas of your life, channeling your ambition to big projects, thinking big above and beyond your current limitations. When sexuality is not producing optimism and not producing healthy partners that support us in other areas of our lives, then we feel there's something missing, and we feel constantly interrupted by sexuality. And that's when sexuality actually stands in the way of your success in life. That's when sexuality introducing all kinds of games and hidden, covert, unconscious patterns that actually stand in your way and delay your growth in masculinity, delay your growth as a self-employed person. If you're self-employed, they simply take away the energy that you can put into your career, into your personal development, into becoming a healthier person with your body, with your exercise and nutrition. And now let's talk about the third most important skill that you absolutely have to master, and that is self-love. Because we are so new, so different, so unique than the rest of society and all the books and all the advice and all the thousands of years of civilization and the patterns of thinking and being that they bring with them. In other words, social conditioning, social behavior, group behavior, the behavior on a global scale, that is not going to match the way that you should behave in your life as a gay man, because we're so inherently different. You got to figure out what gets you to feel happy independently of other people. When you master that skill, the anxiety level that many people experience on a consistent basis because they feel alone and lonely goes down tremendously. There are many periods in my life when I was very single and lonely, and I discovered that there are ways to stay self-contained, to stay in your own space without the interaction of the external world, without the interaction and intervention of other people. So it's possible that you can do that. Meditation helps. Meditation is really one of the key personal development strategies that I emphasize everybody does on a consistent basis. Exercise as well. Then communication with other people, not for romantic purposes, but for exchange of ideas, exchange of opinion. Getting coaching, getting counseling, working with people that have good mental gymnastics ability, that will help you navigate through the different paths of your thinking patterns and align you so that you don't need a lover, a husband, a boyfriend all your life. That there are moments in your life where you're okay, self-contained and by yourself, and when you're totally happy and blissful, engaged in your projects, engaged in your goals, in your purpose, in your vision for your life. And when you are cool and collected with your emotions, and when you understand sexuality, and when you understand that you're here for yourself, all of a sudden your life starts to go in the direction of career development, making your dreams possible for you, and the gayness and the difficulty associated with it, and the huge differences between gay men and straight men, and the psychology of it, all of that is no longer holding you trapped like it does for many, many men. When you look around at the gay community, you see that many gay men fall into the hole or into the trap of that never-ending neediness, and also anger, disappointment that comes with it because they can't find the ideal match for them. So the work that you want to do to offset that is to focus on you. Bring yourself emotional balance. Recognize that sexuality is very important, and that sexuality will cause you sometimes to feel out of control, to feel anxious, and you want to reduce that by focusing on the link between sexuality, emotions, and results, and then calming yourself through self-love, giving yourself the needs that you are seeking other people to meet. If you want something to happen in your life that can bring happiness, joy, or even shift of perspective, something new that you've never done, don't wait for other people to bring that to you. Do it yourself. Go out there, join a certain interest group, start a monthly dinner club, or join a hiking club, or biking club, or sailing club. Do something for yourself, not because you want to meet other people in that activity, but because that activity in itself enriches you, brings you joy. For me, for example, going for walks, going to the mountains now seems really fulfilling. And I don't want anybody around me when I do that. I feel really good in connection with nature. And that really refills all of my batteries inside, my emotions. It restores me. I don't want anybody with me when I do that. I also love to read a lot. So I read books. I don't need another person to be there when I'm reading those books. And I feel really joyful, really enriched by reading those books. So you got to look in the mirror a little bit more and see what is it about you that can make you feel happy without another person. What is it about your hobbies, your interests, your activities, your passion for something that does not require another person in your life? And detach yourself from the notion that a relationship will solve all kinds of problems for you. A relationship might actually introduce a slew of other problems for you. And that's how people sometimes perpetually feel unhappy in their lives, because they are waiting for an external source to bring them happiness, to bring them joy and excitement. That external source is a huge myth. Whatever you want to experience in your life has to come and originate from inside and out. And that's why self-love and self-care, self-compassion, and focusing on what is it that you need, and not stepping on yourself in the name of falling in love, in the name of finding other people to be with you, is so crucially important, especially for gay men, because we're so different, and our ability to get that validation from other people is so reduced because they don't understand us. Even other gay men cannot understand us all the time. And so we need to learn how to give that validation to us through our own attention to our needs, feelings, desires, passions, and interests. And that's how you as a gay man will have a life that will progress forward in your career, with your ambition, with your projects, with your ideas. And on the outside of that path, you're going to start interacting with people, but on a different level, because you are calmer, because you process yourself emotionally, because you understand the impact of sexuality, and you restrict yourself a little bit more than other people, because you connect sexuality with your state of emotion, with your state of results in your life. And then when we add to that self-care, self-love practices through meditation, exercise, good nutrition, having good quality conversations with other people, all of a sudden you recognize that gay life is fascinating because it's so different. And you can connect with that uniqueness of gay life in a positive way, in an abundant way. And that's how you will notice many people will come to you for relationships and for friendships when you are not so needy, when you're taking care of yourself, and with your vibrations, you're attracting totally different life experiences and events and people to your life. Hey, this is Paul here. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'd like to ask you for 3 things right now. The first thing I'd like to ask you for is to subscribe to my channel so that I can send you videos like these every single week. I've had mentors in my life that at critical moments, their piece of information really changed my life forever. I'd like to offer you weekly educational and transformative videos, kind of like the one you've watched a moment ago, so that at a given moment, the right information can really change your life. So please subscribe to my channel so that we can learn together. And the second thing I'd like to ask you for is to share this video with 5 people. These could be men you went out on dates with, these could be your friends, these could be your ex-boyfriends, other gay men that you just met, so that we create an environment and context of learning. When we enter into the context of learning, every challenge simply becomes an attempt and effort to acquire new skills and new perspectives. And from that place, anything is possible. You can achieve all your dreams, all your goals in your life. And the third and final thing is I'd like to invite you to a free coaching session with me one-on-one on the phone. Every month I give away free sessions to empower gay men, to teach you practical, strategic, and very powerful frameworks related to gay sexuality, gay dating, gay relationships, marriage, how to meet men so that they give you commitment, so that they give you monogamy, how to avoid men that are not so great at the critical moment of your life today, how to understand yourself, how to understand gay sexuality, gay psychology, so that you don't have to be distracted by a lot of the lower grade anxieties, a lot of the challenges that actually don't have to happen at all in your life. And during the coaching session, right up front, I'll share with you the most powerful frameworks related to relationships, meeting high quality men, dating, and settling down into marriage, because all of us are looking for that and we have a lot of frustrations related to that. Also, I will share with you frameworks for self-empowerment and self-coaching that you can do at your own convenience at home with certain powerful tools that I will share with you during our call. The coaching session I'm offering to you is an exclusive invitation only for gay men over 40 as my contribution to the gay community. I've had the luxury of coaching over the past 7 years. The tools that I have learned, I put to use in my own life, and these tools are extremely powerful in my own life. I'd like to share all of them with you. So please take advantage of this offer so that we can identify the biggest challenges that hold you back and solve them. A lot of times the solution is a lot easier than you think, but because of subjective experience, it's difficult for you to reconnect with it. That's why coaching is taking over the world. That's why most successful people today have not only one coach, but 2 or 3 coaches for different areas of their lives. I specialize in gay men over 40. If you are a gay man over 40, you deserve to know the knowledge and the wisdom that I've put together over the many years. I'd like to pass it on to you and share with you how you can easily find love, happiness, and success in your life. So please go to the website, reserve your free session with me. Go to paulangelo.com/free coaching. I'm looking forward to talking to you in our session. And until then, until we talk in the next video, until our next conversation, as always, go out there, think big, stay present, and be a leader in your life today. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.